Marquis Karl asked Sovieshu if he would have a second child with Rashta. Sovieshu shook his head, but Marquis Karl suggested divorce and a new empress. He married Rashta for the baby, but the baby was born a girl. Sovieshu said he would divorce Rashta and employ a harsher method if a quick divorce was not possible. Sovieshu announces that he will raise the princess to be his successor baby. This shocks Marquis Karl, who believes only a prince from the empress can become his successor. Sovieshu argues that an emperor shall be man is only a custom, and history will be set when the princess becomes the first reigning empress. The princess will be named Glorum, and Sovieshu wishes her all the world's splendor. Once Rashta had recovered somewhat, a banquet was held for 3 days and 3 nights to celebrate the birth of Sovieshu's first baby. Those present came forward at the same time to congratulate Sovieshu. Since Sovieshu would not even allow Rashta to be near her daughter, people thought that Sovieshu, angered by the incident of the promissory notes, had deliberately separated the baby from Rashta. During the princess's birth celebration, Rashta, who had cared for her daughter, became a laughing stock. The baby received compliments and praise, but Rashta was not the center of attention. The next empress was speculated to be Evely, but it was denied that His Majesty would accept a commoner as empress twice. Rashta left the banquet due to fear of losing affection from Sovieshu. She remained calm until she found a way to avoid being thrown out. There was one person who observed the scene from a distance. It was Baron Lant. Baron Lant advised the emperor to allow Rashta to be with the princess, as he believes a baby should be with her mother after being born. Sovieshu sent the baby to Rashta at night, and Viscountess Verdi, who had been by Rashta's side during pregnancy and delivery, was overjoyed to hold the princess. Rashta hesitates when Viscountess Verdi offers to hold the princess, but quickly holds the baby, expressing her apology and gently patting and rocking her. Rashta stared in horror at the princess with her head bowed, suddenly feeling the same sensation of the past when she held the dead baby in her arms. At the grisly horror that swept over her from head to foot, Rashta gasped and threw the baby away. After throwing the baby, Rashta trembled as she clutched her head with both hands. She felt as if there was a sickening corpse smell on her arms, so she hastily swiped them across her knees and the sheets to get it off. The baby, who had been thrown to the floor, was crying inconsolably. Only then did Rashta calm down a little and asked with a blank stare, "Is she alive?" Viscountess Verdi recalls Delise, a maid whose tongue was cut and imprisoned because she saw something she shouldn't see. She holds the baby tightly, knowing she will kill her once she regains her senses. Viscountess Verdi barely answered Rashta that her baby is shocked and is being examined. She quickly leaves the bedroom, fearing a potential attack from Rashta's knights and maids, and rushes to the East Palace. Viscountess Verdi cried out in tears after seeing Sovieshu, demanding protection from the empress, who threw the princess to the floor. The palace doctor, astonished by Navier's pregnancy, congratulated her, causing Navier to squirm in confusion. The doctor then smiled awkwardly, expressing her surprise and confusion. Heinle kissed Navier and complimented her on a lovely baby eagle. He then held her, making her feel dizzy. Heinle then turned into a bird and started dancing. Navier feels a mix of emotions, including excitement and sadness, as she realizes she will become a mother, a realization that goes beyond obligation and happiness. Queen approached Navier and rested his face on her belly, expressing their happiness and the fruit of their love. Sovieshu, concerned about Viscountess Verdi's statement that Rashta threw the princess, cared for the baby first. The baby cried inconsolably, indicating something had happened. Sovieshu leaves with a baby in his arms, but Rashta accuses Viscountess Verdi of throwing the princess. Verdi denies the accusation and accuses the woman of trying to kill the princess. A loud bird chirps at Rashta. Sovieshu, convinced that it was Rashta who was lying, and orders her to leave. Rashta gritted her teeth, looking at the countess as she feels betrayed, and assures Sovieshu that Rashta will never hurt the princess. Sovieshu asked Viscountess Verdi if she had a child and had raised one herself. She admitted she had, but Sovieshu unexpectedly offered to prepare a room for the baby next to hers, allowing her to stay with the princess. Verdi expressed gratitude. Sovieshu, angered by Rashta's actions towards the baby, tried to control his anger and told himself that it will not just a simple divorce. Rashta, returning to the West Palace, screamed and broke her room, expressing her grief. She knelt on the rug where the baby fell, wailing, and unsure if she would repeat the act. The eerie sensation of holding the baby remained vivid in her memory. Rashta yelled at the door, but Viscount Roteshu entered without addressing her. She ordered him to leave, but Roteshu refused, stating that her father had arrived in the capital. Rashta staggered limply, and her expression became blank. Then she grabbed Viscount Roteshu by the collar and shook him with all her might, as tears spilled down her cheeks. Rashta slapped Viscount Roteshu, blaming him for not holding her baby properly. Rashta slaps him again, but he evades her, revealing his father's news. Rashta's anger subsided, asking about his father, Viscount Isqua, but Roteshu told her it was her true father. Rashta is bewildered by the news of her father's arrival, but Roteshu explains that he showed Rashta's portrait and claims she has made it. Rashta denies having the blood of a common slave and asks Roteshu to take care of her father. Viscount Roteshu suggests asking His Majesty instead, since he turned a blind eye on her background. Roteshu is busy looking for Revetti and has no time getting command from Rashta. The Empress sent invitations to nobles for a tea party, including those with bad relationships. Her ladies-in-waiting helped with the letters, but were puzzled by the names, as they were close to the former queen's family. Her ladies-in-waiting labeled Danger Level 2 to nobles that are hostile towards her. She invited these Danger Level 2 groups without countermeasures, believing they were a trap to strengthen rumors of her infertility. At the tea party, she plans to know if of the group of nobles she invited will be hostile towards, but eventually they showed their true colors. They talked about Miss Amaru, Krista's lady-in-waiting, who will have a child soon. They mock Navier for not being pregnant yet, compared to a person who had married later would give birth first. They inquires about the expected release of good news about having a baby from Navier, who clarifies that it is a matter for the emperor and empress and not their concern. Masta's cold words caused a shift in the atmosphere, but the nobles told her that the empress's pregnancy could end the circulating rumors. The situation soon turned into a heated argument between those on her side and the nobles in the Danger Level 2 group. The Empress is preparing to stop the fight by accidentally drops her tea, causing it to shatter. Navier then emphasized the importance of stabilizing the country first and avoiding a delicate disagreement with foreign countries, causing malicious gaze among Danger Level 2 nobles. Heinle asks by Navier about his childhood, expressing interest in learning more about him. She believes children are reflections of their parents and wants to be prepared to raise a child. Heinle disagrees with the idea that one is a reflection of their parents, stating that he was independent and not obedient as a child. Navier asked Heinle if he would prefer a child with his personality, but he argues that she is cruel. Duke Elgi learns Rashta's real father visited Viscount Roteshu and plans to blackmail her. Rashta is unsure of what to do, as Viscount Roteshu is too busy to help. She originally wanted to kill her father, but she already hired a mercenary to assassinate Duke and Duchess Troby, and hesitant to hire another, she prefers to send her father to a distant place.